Furry conventions are a one-stop shop for fuzzy magic and an economic boom for the city it's held in. You have thousands to tens of thousands of fuzzballs taking time off work and spending hundreds to thousands of dollars while also wearing outfits that aren't that cheap to party, drink, and party, and panels, maybe some not so great panels, but panels nonetheless. And with some of these events pushing towards the 20,000 attendee mark, it's kind of a big deal when a disaster strikes. And over the long history of furry conventions, there have been a few. So today, I'm going to be going over some of these spectacle cons and revisit some of the wildest incidents in furry convention history. The Fake Gun Incident. Furry Weekend Atlanta 2024. At every furry convention that you attend, you're not only going to see a lot of furries, but also a handful of cosplayers of different fictional and sometimes non-fictional characters. And with that understanding, these are TACFurs, or Tactical Furries. They're a group of furries that show interest in tactical gear and relative accessories, which by extension includes prep weapons. Now, in comes a cosplayer dressed up as Bon Voyage from The Incredibles. Borrowing a gun replica from one of the TACFurs, they began aiming the gun prop at crowds of fursuiters from the edge of a balcony. At first glance, there was little if not any negative feedback to this. That is, until you checked Twitter only a little after the incident took place. Pictures, videos, and opinions were thrown around everywhere, but the overall result was that FWA tightened up their cosplay rules, disallowing prop weapons unless they've been cleared by staff. An incident so big that the other larger conventions soon adapted into their own rules. The Sword Incident. Anthrocon 2024. In the early morning of July 4th, the police were called in for reports of someone bleeding and screaming in the hallway of the Wyndham Grand downtown hotel, pretty much in the heart of Pittsburgh. This incident involves 4 Anthrocon goers, while one of them was soon to have committed a serious crime. According to the victims, the 3 of them were invited to their friend's hotel. Because their hotel wasn't ready yet, they allowed them to stay the night until their room was available. On their arrival at around 1 a.m., their friend was visibly drunk while letting them in the room and getting ready for bed. And without knowing what set them off, their friend started repeatedly yelling, "Allah does not approve," while beating on one of their roommates with a prop sword. Despite being made out of plastic, it left the victim with gashes and cuts down to the bone. The other 2 roommates held down the attacker while the injured escaped. The attacker was restrained until the police arrived, and they were charged with aggravated assault. I was a little freaked out when reading this story because I actually attended Anthrocon 2024. It's just kind of weird to know that while I was having a good time and safely enjoying myself, someone just a few blocks away was having a horribly traumatic experience with someone they thought they could trust. The Fist Fight Incident. Furry Weekend Atlanta 2024. Late night outside of Atlanta's Metro Diner, aka the only place that's open past 12, a furry wearing their full suit gets jumped and mugged by 3 random Atlantean residents. Lots of people ended up seeing the brawl, and some people even recorded it like it was some sort of high school fight.
Dude, what the fuck is going on? Oh, it's foot.
But me, I would never record that.
Yeah, what's this fuzzball doing?
Never. I would never record that. The victim's partner ended up sharing on Twitter that everything that was stolen has been recovered and everyone is a-okay. All of this just goes to show that most furries would not swing for your ass. The pizza incident. I don't want to say that every time. It's kind of great. The Dirty Pizza Incident. Biggest Littlest FurCon 2021. It all starts with a furry looking for a room to host their party. What kind of party, you might ask? Just a pizza party. Very normal thing that everyone hosts. The premise of the party is a bit too explicit for me to explain, but the hosts did it pretty well themselves.
No one can compare to the party we're going to throw. I don't know if there'll be a better party than the Pizza Come party. And we're all there vibing and coming on pizza together and holding pies while we chit.
Okay, bro. To be honest, the party itself wasn't actually the problem, because whatever goes on in your room is your business. It's just gross. It's nasty. It's nasty. So when it inevitably hit the internet, it kind of popped off and set furry reputation back another 12 years. The Gas Attack Incident. Midwest Fur Fest 2014. Among all the incidents I'll be speaking about in this video, this one definitely pushes towards the extreme of disasters leaking into the fields of terrorism. At around 1 a.m., a bottle containing a strong chlorine chemical was planted and broken in a stairwell of the Hyatt Regency, MFF's main hotel. The deadly odor quickly filled up the building, causing causing an emergency evacuation, with ambulance and hazmats being deployed onto the scene. A horrible and malicious attack leaving dozens hospitalized and leaving hundreds in the cold Illinois weather. With an event so damning, I think it only deserves the most justice-fueled coverage from the news.
What? Spread?
Many still dressed in their furry costumes. Learned something important about this world.
Learned something that we all wish we didn't know.
The Rainfurrest incident. Rainfurrest, 2015. The Rainfurrest incident has undeniably the most coverage compared to any other furry convention disaster, due to its attendees going absolutely berserk in this hotel, and copious amounts of nitrous oxide. There are ambulances taking in attendees who had done too many drugs, and even police officers arresting some for selling drugs. Something tells me it might be a drug problem.
2,000 nitrous oxide cartridges, 2 drug overdoses that required ambulances. Drugs was the major problem.
Nah. Rainfurrest was then denied from rehosting at not only the Hilton, but every other hotel in the vicinity, which only led to Rainfurrest becoming defunct in 2017. The Free-for-All incident. Free-for-All 2023. Free-for-All is a convention started with the intent of becoming an anti-cancel culture space, where those ostracized for their opinions could still roam fuzzily and freely of judgment. Unfortunately for the controversial figures behind the event, a large majority of furries don't actually like being around a racist or a furry Nazi.
I decided to actually get involved with some neo-Nazi groups to see how they were like, you know? Can't judge people right away.
So, a convention full of negative figures within the furry space, known for their own respective controversies, and then like a handful of their fans. The attendance of the con was an approximate 50 attendees. Meanwhile, this was the convention. I don't typically point and laugh at others' failure, especially since the community is supposed to uplift and welcome others, but the event itself is low-key just trying to be offensive and to prove a point to people who don't agree with their atrocities, so when it severely backfires, it just feels like deserved karma. Due to the performance of Free-for-All 2023, the organizers decided to cancel all future plans and shut down the convention permanently. And that's a wrap for every furry convention incident. If I missed anything, please leave a comment below and I'll be sure to give it a read. Or just comment the number 27 and I'll heart your comment, no questions asked. Thank you all for 6,000 subscribers. Be sure to join the Discord to see what I'm up to next.